I'm AC Brown, and you're listening to Is My Aura On Straight, a podcast designed to help you start living from your core instead of your conditioning. Each week, we'll discuss topics ranging from human design, astrology, metaphysics, spiritual self-development, and everything in between. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Is My Aura On Straight. I am your host, AC Brown. I'm your spiritual doula, intuitive strategist, psychic channel, and human design expert, and I'm also an entrepreneur. And I want to thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Is My Aura On Straight, and keeping within the theme of our each aura's starting five is in relationships. This is my thoughts, guys. I didn't get any hate mail, which is really good. So don't send any now that I've said that, but I didn't get any hate mail or any, how dare you? That's not true, and all of that stuff. But if you have questions about your relationship and want a relationship reading, definitely click the link in the show notes, and you can get one. I've been doing a few of them, and they've been amazing. Some of you guys have some really great pieces to the puzzle as couples, so it's really cool. So today is about projectors. Hey, projector boos. I'm going to try my hardest to not use my past experiences and influence this. However, I'm just going to, from my experience and other people's charts and other people who I know who are projectors or have dated projectors, I'm just going to give you the lowdown. So let's get started. So of course, my number one favorite aura type for projectors, whether it's, heterosexual relationship or same-sex couples, it is a generator. And I'm not going to go too much into why, because you can listen to the generator podcast about that, but I will go into the whole generator, why generators are really great for projectors. Projectors need to be heard. They need their insights, their wisdom, their knowledge to be valued, to be recognized, to be heard. Generators do that, period. Like, point blank, period. Generators do that for us, whether it is and I'm gonna, like I said in the last episode, I'm gonna talk about business relationships and friendships and other that stuff. But whether it's love relationships, friendships, generators do that for us. They allow us to be ourselves. They allow us to talk. They respect our wisdom so much that it's like a safe little place. I mean, just look at Oprah and Gail. They've been friends for years. And just imagine all of the wisdom and insight that Oprah's probably asked Gail about that has, come to fruition, and that they've just found really comfort and solace within each other's friendship. And the same goes for relationships. Look at Barack and Michelle. Barack is a projector. Michelle is a generator. And you see how that works. And then you also have Steven Spielberg and his wife. Steven Spielberg's a projector. His wife's a generator. Of course, I always bring up Jeff Bezos, but, they know Jeff, had a little crisis. He got a little boo on the side. So, they're getting a divorce, or they already divorced. But during the height and the crucial parts of building his company and building his legacy was with a generator spouse. The same with Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. She's a projector, even though, she had, if you watch them, and she had this like crisis of her not, being happy, she was able to, be a key, cornerstone for Will Smith being a generator in his life. And projectors, we need to be recognized. We need to be valued. We need to be invited. And generators, them needing us is perfect. It's just a perfect match. It's a perfect match in business. It's a perfect match in friendship. And of course, since we're talking about love, it's a perfect match in love. Because you have a true yin and a yang. You have someone who is going to not only need you to respect their cycles of waiting, but then you have this other person who needs you to respect their plateaus. So it's just a lot of respect, a lot of admiration for the pair, and that's why I really love it. Because the generator is going to give you the power and the attention that projectors do. Well, projectors don't need necessarily power; they need attention. But and then projectors will give generators that power. So it is just a really amazing kind of pair. When generators are feeling frustrated, a projector's able to, I don't want to say baby that, but to comfort that on a level of just care and nurture. So I really, really love that combination. That's the first one. The second one that I love for a projector, this is a hard one, but I'm going to have to say, even though me, my manifesting generator passed, I'm going to probably put second, and this is very rare to find, but if it was up to me for the perfect aura type pairings, I would like a projector secondly to be with a reflector. And that is because reflectors, like I said, they are also to be recognized, but they are going to be consistent. Just like a generator, reflectors are going to be very consistent for projectors, because projectors need consistency. They need someone to be consistent with them, someone to not switch up on them. And I find that manifesting generators do that, especially in love, because manifesting generators, and I'll get to that, but the reason why reflectors are a really good match for a projector is because they're very consistent. They have a need for consistency. And projectors need someone who's consistent. And you have two people who don't have any sacral centers, who need you to honor that energy, honor those ebbs and flows that they're going through. And surprisingly, people will say, well, won't that just be two people who don't have the energy to do stuff? Actually not. Because a reflector, for them, especially in career-wise, and I'm going to talk about this in other podcasts, reflectors are actually, like I've said before, they're phenomenal people to work with or have on your team, whether they're entrepreneurs, whether they're employees. They're really good because they are able to mirror what they see. They're able to be a shining example, the best of for that. So I always tell reflectors, if they ask, oh, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, if you want to be a yoga teacher, you be the model yoga teacher. You be the yoga teacher that's in the community, that's doing everything. They are the model citizen for the community. So a reflector in a relationship with a projector, they already, especially if a reflector has their own thing going on, their own purpose in life, they're the shining example and the model for what they're doing. So a projector sees that and they see the consistency. It's something that the projector can get behind, that they can support, that they can nourish, that they can honor, that they can say, oh, wow, look at my spouse doing this and look how dedicated they are. Because like I said, that consistency that reflectors need. And then also, you both like to talk. You're going to have that being able to hear each other out all the time. And so that is a good thing as well. So my second is a reflector. My third would be a projector. That would be my third choice for a projector, another projector. And that is, it's sort of like I don't want to say it's a tie between that. It would definitely be another projector. And that's because, respecting each other's values and opinions and recognizing each other and the energy levels. The only issue that I find, and this never fails, that depending on where the projector is at, and I've seen this with same-sex couples, I've seen this with heterosexual couples, in same-sex relationships, especially for, my lesbian clients who I've had in the past, if the dominant person is a projector and they have not figured out their life path, then the other projector is going to be extremely frustrated because they're going to feel like they're doing too much, like they're taking the lead a lot. That's where I have seen issues in my same-sex couples. Whoever's the dominant person who's the projector, as well as the other person who's a projector, or whatever, other aura type. If the dominant person has not figured out their life path and is still going on this journey of discovery and self-actualization, all of that, it is very frustrating for the other person. Now, of course, in heterosexual couples, it's a little different. And I hate to put stereotypes, but sometimes it's easier for projector women to, find a generator man or a projector man who's doing their thing, and to be a little bit just fluctuating in their career choices. That's some of the issues. But on the opposite end, in heterosexual couples, if the projector woman has figured it all out and then the projector man has not, it's very challenging. I see it time and time again. People email me about it, and people who are involved with projectors, whoever's the dominant or, the man, I get time and time again about the frustration, because if a projector man, depending on their upbringing and their background, if they haven't mastered something or had some type of generator likeness in their life, that they're going to really struggle after their 30s. Most successful projector men have mimicked or mirrored generators, because that's the majority that's around. Manifesting generators and generators. And also that energy sometimes, regardless if it's a male or a female having being generator or manifesting generator, can be very masculine energy. Not saying that, a generator woman is masculine, but the energy, because of the work ethic, can be masculine. So when a projector male is around, regardless of the sex, manifesting generators or generators, they pick up on that. And so if they start their career younger, then they're able to grow with it. As you all know, Barack Obama made less than Michelle for years. But that was good for their relationship. And then, of course, he became the president of the United States. Same thing with Jeff Bezos. His wife is an accountant. I mean, he had a financial background, but there were times where, she was making sure the books were correct, all of that stuff, keeping the consistency while the projector, grew. So that's my only iffy thing about projector relationships. It depends on where that dominant person is at in their life as the projector. So it won't be any resentment going on within the relationship. So that would be my third. For projectors. My next, of course, would be manifesting generators. The issue with manifesting generators is nothing. I love manifesting generators. A lot of my friends manifesting generators. I've worked with manifesting generators, done business with them. Great people. In love, it is a challenge for projectors to, and I talked about this in the last episode, to just keep up. The projector oftentimes, if not many times, feels inadequate to a manifesting generator in a romantic relationship, especially when you have people living together, or that type of union, depending on how long that they've known each other, etc. And that is because the manifesting generator just has this energy about them that is on a constant go. And the projector, at times, they say, oh, we can keep up, but it's not good for us to try and keep up. And then you also have that energy of the manifesting generator not needing you. That is an ego bruise to a projector. That shit hurts. And I'm speaking from experience, and I'm also speaking from hearing that from other projectors. Manifesting generators have a way sometimes that can be very harsh It can be very uneasy. It can be very unwelcoming to a projector spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It just can be a little bit like, do you really want me here or don't you? And it's manifesting generators in a way sometimes subconsciously make it known to projectors that they're not needed. And not in a bad way, like, oh, I can't stand you, I don't need you, but because they are so used to being in control and wanting that control and doing so many things. So a projector is going to want to talk. A projector is going to want to, hear all of the things about your day, and, they want details and they want you to take them on a journey throughout your day. And then a manifesting generator doesn't want to answer the questions. They just don't. They want to tell you it was a good day and that's it. And then the projector's like, well, I want to, so what happened? What did you do? And the manifesting generator's just like, I just did what I did. And over time, that can be very harsh. You can start walking on eggshells, tippy-toeing around. And like I said, I'm speaking from my experience and from other projectors that have been in relationships with manifesting generators. So that would be my fourth. My last, and not my last and least, and this is not because, how can I explain this? Manifestors and projectors make phenomenal friends. Manifestors and projectors make phenomenal working relationships. If projectors the life coach of the manifestor or vice versa. Very, very good. In a relationship, it is a struggle. And it is a struggle of, now you think a manifesting generator is bad. The manifestor is a little more intense, because there is really a lack of communication, and the manifestor wants you to just get it and understand. And that is kind of a challenge. A projector's going to need, I don't want to say hand holding. I want to say a projector is going to need you to explain the details, explain everything. A manifestor does not want to do that. A manifestor doesn't want you to ask them questions, just like a manifesting generator. A manifestor doesn't want you to question anything that they do. They want this sort of silent understanding that they're doing the thing, or that you shouldn't be concerned with it. I see it time and time again. It's not always true, but the communication has to be extremely like a priority in a projector manifestor relationship. It has to be the number one thing, because once the communication is like broken down for a projector, the trust is gone. Because if projectors can't communicate with you, and if they cannot find some type of commonality or common ground when it comes to communication, they're just going to be angry and bitter, and they're going to be resentful. And manifestors do that naturally, because that's just the way that they are. They're here to inform. They want you to respect their privacy. They want you to leave them alone when they want to be left alone. They don't need you, and they need you to understand that they don't need you. And a manifestor is more apt than a manifesting generator to tell you, I don't need you. I like you here. And that's harsh. And so, I've had people DM me and, and email me about how they're struggling with their manifestor, because that's challenging for them to just, and it's all about communication. So manifestors, if you're a manifestor listening to this and you're in love with a projector, you need to communicate more. And I tell my manifestors this all the time when I work with manifestors, with readings, with coaching, whatever. It's not about you informing for opinion or for the peanut gallery. It's just so you let people know. So when you have that understanding, especially as a projector, of them just letting you know, there'll be a lot less pushback. So, if you're like, oh, I'm going to Target, and then the projector will know, okay, they're going to Target. I don't need to question anything. Let me just text this person what I need from Target instead of saying, oh, what are you going to get? Why are you going to Target? Can I come? All of that stuff. It's about communicating. So, and that's why I love human design, because when people understand their aura types, you just function so much, you just function more efficiently in your day-to-day interactions with other people. You're able to say, okay, you know, I need to invite them to this, or I need to invite them into this conversation, or I need to just inform them that I'm doing this, or I need to respond to this, etc. And it just makes it so much easier, especially in romantic relationships. Communication is one of the biggest downfalls in romantic relationships. And when you have an understanding like human design on how to communicate effectively with your partner, things go really, really well. You don't fight a lot. There's not a lot of headbutting. And so, you know, that's why my last is, you know, a manifester for projectors. It's just that that's the biggest communication hurdle, from a projector side to a manifester side. That's my biggest communication hurdle when it comes to that. But other than that, that is my starting top 5 in that order for projectors, if you have a choice. Of course, next up is going to be manifestors, then reflectors, and then I'm going to talk about profiles for just profile combinations, like my favorite ones that I like to see. So thank you so much once again for listening to this. If you guys have any questions, you can email me or slide in my DMs. If you're mad at anything that I've said, keep that to yourself. No, I'm just kidding. If you just want to, explore some, further questions and do that, definitely. If you haven't already had a reading from me, definitely do so. And just letting you guys know, I offer it's called Me and My Guides, and it's just more intuitive readings. It's not human design. It's on my website under the Work With Me, and I tap in, we figure out something together, and it's not human design. It's just regular intuitive psychic readings. So that's up there. And just, if you want to utilize that as well, or if you want to get a Who You Are in Human Design reading. So thank you so much once again for tuning in. And I hope you guys have a great day filled with good vibes and great energy. But until next time, bye-bye. Thank you for listening to another episode of Is My Aura on Straight. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at AC Brown, and also check out my website for products and services at www.acbrown.com. And until we meet again, make sure you have a great week filled with good vibes and good energy.